Now on CoastTV News.
Pot sales grow.
We saw the need.
How Frankford hopes a dispensary and legalized sales could drive a wave of new business to the town.
A pricey pier fix, more than 5,000 square feet of Cape Henlopen's fishing pier. It's off limits. Why repair plans are stalled.
Tracking dry weather into our Friday through the weekend, plus a high risk of rip currents. The latest coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
A small town with Delaware's newest big business. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with one of the only towns in Sussex County allowing marijuana sales within town limits. Retail marijuana has been legal for Delaware for almost a week, and in the first week, the state says there has been $1.7 million in total sales. About $989,000 of that is from flower, which is actual marijuana plant itself, not items like edibles or gummies. These numbers are for both recreational use and for those with medical marijuana cards.
The Farm Dispensary in Frankford is the latest and one of the only recreational weed shops in the county. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live there in Frankford. Emma, the business and town say it's mutually beneficial.
Maddie, I'm here at the Farm Dispensary where they just opened less than a week ago. And unlike other shops in Sussex that were previous medical dispensaries, the farm is now a place for both medical and recreational sales. And Frankford is one of the only places allowing marijuana sales in its limits. And we spoke with the Frankford town manager. He says if the state allows it, then Frankford encourages it, and he thinks it'll be good for the local economy.
When you walk into the Farm Dispensary in Frankford, here's how it might go.
Good one I select will probably be cotton candy.
Okay.
It works for me. I like it. Or fruit by the foot works well too.
Okay, I think I'll do that.
Those are your indicas, which help you too.
Picking the type of marijuana you'd like is the new reality for Delawareans choosing to take part. The Farm Dispensary is one of the only dispensaries within municipal limits, as many towns have banned shops like this. CEO Jennifer Stark says they picked Frankford because there wasn't a dispensary nearby.
We saw the need, for something in this area because there was a gap between other existing dispensaries in the state. Certainly the town of Frankford, just with general commercial growth, we bring in traffic. So if there's a restaurant in the area and they stop, they may also stop there. They'll stop at the dispensary.
Town manager Sheldon Hudson says support came naturally and thinks this is the free market doing its thing.
The town of Frankford viewed cannabis retail just like any other retail. So we had the option to pass an ordinance to restrict cannabis sales, and we decided not to. Again, because we view it like any sort of retail, convenience store, anything of that sort.
Hudson sees weed shops like the farm as a beneficial boost to the Frankford economy.
My hope and my role as town manager is that this will snowball. This will be the tip of the spear, and we'll see a lot more retail growth in the months and years to come.
For now, Frankford hopes marijuana means more money.
It is important to note taxes on these sales do go to the state, but like any small business, those fees and permits, those go to the town. And Hudson tells us he just hopes more customers here means more people in Frankford at large. Reporting live in Frankford, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
We reached out today to other towns in the area to see if they would change their stance on marijuana. Leaders in Millsboro, Lewis, and Milford say right now there's no financial incentive for towns to do it, because municipalities, they don't get that tax revenue. In Fenwick Island, the mayor says no one's requested it and marijuana shops are not family-centric. Remember, Georgetown does allow marijuana sales with some limits, though. There's only 2 shops allowed and they must be on 113. At least one is already there. We have a whole list of regulations in other towns and cities on Delmarva. Just head to our website and search Weed Watch.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how will dispensaries affect local business?
Let's take a look at your screen so far. And 45% say help a little, 22% say no impact, 22% say hurt business, and 11% say help a lot.
If you haven't voted yet, you can still do that at coasttv.com or use our mobile app, and we're going to show you updated results tonight on Coast TV News at 11.
New at 6, the Delaware Republican Party is calling for immediate answers after what they're calling serious irregularities in the August 5th special election in District 20. Election data shows 55 absentee ballots came back blank. Republicans say that is much higher than past special elections. Republicans are alleging concerns about potential procedural breakdowns at Mariner Middle School. The GOP acknowledges in their open letter they know this won't change the results of the election, as candidate Nikki Miller lost by 121 votes, but they're calling for transparency. We reached out to the Department of Elections, who say a statement is forthcoming to address this, but we have not gotten that statement yet. Let's go ahead and take a live look into Milford. A beautiful looking evening out there. Our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobuono, joins us with a look at our forecast. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Maddie and Charlie. Yes, so we're looking pretty nice out there. In fact, below average temperatures continue. You can see the temperatures across the area throughout the week. Highs today, 80 degrees in Georgetown. Average is 87, so we're doing pretty well out there. Right now, we're holding in the mid to upper 70s. We're at 74 Rehoboth to 75 Bethany Beach. It's been a bit breezy out there as we continue to see that onshore flow, gusts 20 miles an hour, Indian River Inlet. The good news is we're at moderate levels as far as the air quality is concerned today. We were at that unhealthy for sensitive groups range yesterday. We had a few spotty sprinkles earlier this afternoon, but skies are clearing, and it's going to be a really nice evening as we fall to around 70 by around 10. In fact, a nice cool overnight as we dip into the lower to mid 60s, and the weekend is looking rather pleasant, but we do have that high risk of rip currents tomorrow through the weekend, and then the heat and humidity come storming back in next week. If you missed it, we'll talk more about that in the 7-day forecast in a little bit. Charlie.
Thank you, Chris. If you've been to the pier at the Cape Henlopen State Park, you've probably noticed the over 5,000 square feet that is closed. New today, the Delaware Division of Parks held a meeting on when and how the full pier could possibly reopen. CoastTV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in our newsroom. Brandon, areas of the pier have been closed all the way since 2023.
Charlie, 3 different areas on the pier are currently closed because of damage found from a March survey this year, and the process to move forward with planning to fix those damages are underway. And new today from the Delaware Division of Parks and Recreation, they've outlined 2 options for moving forward. One, repairing the pier, which will cost $1 million that the agency says they do not have. Or option 2, a full rebuild of the dock. That would be even more expensive at $22 million, which leaves more questions than answers. But one man fishing today at the state park says better fishing will come with a fixed dock.
It also gives you access to a little bit deeper water when the tide's moving. So yeah, I think it'd be a great project for the state to take on.
The agency is planning to hold a fall meeting workshop with stakeholders of Cape Henlopen for the future of this pier. And some notable stakeholders include people that actually work at the state park and volunteer groups like the Friends of Cape Henlopen. Back to you guys.
Thank you. Each Friday, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV. It's full of features, cool things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for our Feel Good Friday newsletter at coasttv.com/sign up. And we have a lot more news to get to this evening.
In sports, can you believe it? The Ravens and Eagles opening up preseason play tonight. Both have squads that have rookies with opportunities to step up.
I am certainly looking forward to that. Well, we're going to have a nice few days here Friday into the weekend. Plenty of sunshine, low humidity. We do have that high risk of rip currents. We'll talk more about that in the full 7-day forecast here in a little bit.
But first, a mother's mission to honor her son, how one local family is turning grief into legacy, when we're back in just 60 seconds.
From the time he could talk, Joey Marquez's family tells us he dreamed of serving the United States in the military. But tragically, 3 years ago, Joey lost his life in a training accident. And ever since then, his family has worked tirelessly to keep his memory alive. And in this week's Coastal Connections, Elisa Weber introduces us to Joey's mother and shows us how we can help honor her son's legacy.
And we spent a lot of time down at the beach.
Ever since Joey was little, his mother, Kristen, says his lifelong dream was to serve.
Ever since he could talk, that's all he ever said. So we just knew that's what he was always going to do.
At just 17, Joey enlisted, turning that dream into a reality.
Everything he did, he was just a very thoughtful, dedicated, loyal young man, very giving. And nobody was surprised that he wanted to sacrifice to serve our country.
While doing practice training in Yakima, Joey was tragically killed during an accident at the age of 19. Ever since his passing, his mother and family have made it their mission to make sure Joey's memory lives on. Since Joey passed away in April 2022, his loved ones have honored his memory by organizing a Memorial 5K, an event they say is especially meaningful because of his deep love for sports.
I've been very fortunate and blessed that Joey's been honored in a lot of ways, and he's been memorialized in a lot of ways, which I don't think all the families have. But this is something that I will do until I can't do it anymore.
Joey's family is now using the money raised from the race to fund a memorial for him at the Delaware Veterans Memorial Cemetery in Millsboro. The memorial will actually be a Gold Star Families Memorial Monument, honoring not only Joey, but all Gold Star families, which are the immediate family members of U.S. service members who died while serving in the armed forces.
Joey's mother says she often comes here to the Kent County Veterans Memorial to stand by the brick that honors her son, which you can see right here.
Joey often went by Dims, which his mother says was a nickname given to him at birth.
They brought him out to see my mom because she was waiting to see him, and he moved his mouth and she was like, oh my goodness, look. And he had these double dimples. He had dimples in his ears, he had dimples on his shoulders, he had dimples in his back. So we just always called him Dimps and Dimples.
From hats to dog tags and tattoos, Kristen carries her son with her every day. But the pain of losing him never gets easier.
He was just a true hero. I mean, he was just an amazing person. He was just a bright light. Sorry. And he's very missed every day.
Right now, Joey's mother says they have about $20,000 left to raise for the monument. And you can help by participating in the PFC Joseph Dimps Marquez Memorial 5K on August 10th in Rehoboth Beach. For Coastal Connections, I'm Elisa Weber.
Well, really nice afternoon out there. We had a few sprinkles, but doing pretty good in Lewis right now. Still seeing a little bit of that haze in the sky. We're at 76 degrees. Seeing the waves out there a bit choppy. We're going to have a high risk of rip currents over the weekend through because all thanks to that coastal storm that we've been telling you about well out to sea. Ocean temperatures upper 70s, so that is certainly good news. Feels pretty good. Temperatures were at 74 Rehoboth, 75 Bethany Beach, 75 Dagsboro to 76 in Georgetown. Seeing some gusts out there, 22 Seaford to 20 Indian River Inlet. We saw some gusts as high as 25. Now, moderate air quality. We had that unhealthy for sensitive groups range yesterday. Air quality is going to continue to improve here, especially over the next 24 hours as we kind of kick this upper level wildfire smoke out of here, all thanks to that persistent east wind. Now, that east wind combining with that developing coastal storm well out to sea is going to create a dangerous threat of rip currents, not only for tomorrow, but throughout the weekend. We do have small craft advisories up through about 8 o'clock off the Delaware coast, and then those extend south where dangerous risk of rip currents, Ocean City through Chickateague, and then those small craft advisories are up through the weekend off the coast of Maryland and Virginia. We do have coastal flood statements for the back bays. That's due in part to high tide. That kicks in later on tonight about after 11 o'clock through 8 tomorrow morning. And there's those few sprinkles dissipating, clear skies, and then there's that system off the southeast coast. This is going to actually lift up to the northeast. The Hurricane Center has been monitoring this, but they keep dropping the percentage of any development, so we may not even see this system get named, but it will create swells for those fishermen out at sea over the next few days. Partly cloudy skies overnight as we fall into the lower to mid 60s, so really nice evening and overnight, and pretty nice day tomorrow. Mix of sun and clouds. East wind about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Highs tomorrow generally upper 70s to around 80 degrees. We're at 79 Lewis, 80 Dewey Beach. A bit more cloud cover, I think, further south you go in the peninsula, down through Chickateague and portions of Accomack County. There's that high risk of rip currents. Lewis, Dewey Beach, down through South Bethany, waves 2 to 3 feet, waves 3 to 5 feet, Ocean City, Assateague Island through Chickatee. Make sure you swim near those lifeguards. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow afternoon. Really nice evening tomorrow as we dip into the mid to upper 60s, and the weekend shaping up to be very nice. Temperatures right around 80 degrees, and it only gets better even into Sunday. Partly cloudy Saturday, mostly sunny Sunday, low humidity. So there's that system pulling off to the northeast. High pressure builds in. Eventually this high pressure system is going to slide to our southeast, and that's going to open the door for, yes, the return of those tropical-like humidity levels. And we'll see those by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Also, the return of 90-degree temperatures. Those 90s kick in Tuesday through Thursday.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, day 3 of the White Marlin Open is underway. Actually, is it day 4 already? I'm losing track of time. Thursday is day 4, and there's $7.3 million in prize money this year.
We're going to take a look at the leaderboard, sponsored by Rudy Marine.
You can see here, White Marlin, we have the Bill Fisher of Ocean City. They brought that guy in 72 pounds. That was brought in yesterday. It's still on the top.
Looking at the blue marlin category, a much bigger fish, massive 929.5 pounder, still on top there. It was brought in by the boat Barbara B.
In the tuna category, Mama C had a 95 pounder.
In second, Release No Limit, brought in at a 92.5 pound fish. And then in third, Don't Ask, brought in at 61 pounds.
And Barbara B is the leaderboard again, this time in the dolphin category with a 32.5 pound catch.
In second is Rochambeau with a 27 pound catch, and Sweet Freedom with a 26.5 pound catch.
Now, only 13 boats total went out today. Pretty low. The tournament runs through Sunday. And at this time, there's no qualifying fish for what, wahoo or swordfish.
White Marlin Open leaderboard coverage is sponsored by RudyMarine.com, where family boating begins. The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Your favorite NFL players are about to get back on the field. There's a solid slate of preseason games tonight, and 2 teams from the area are in action for the first time since the winter. The Ravens battle the Colts in their first exhibition game tonight, but don't get it twisted. Baltimore has a history of treating the preseason like the regular season. From 2016 to 2023, the Ravens went on a 24-game win streak in preseason play. Now, one player to watch out for tonight is rookie kicker Tyler Loop. The Arizona product is the only kicker on the team's roster, which shows that Baltimore has belief in him. That makes sense, given Loop has nailed multiple 60-yard field goals in practice. The Ravens and Colts kick off at 7 tonight. And just 30 minutes later, the Eagles and Bengals kick off. The reigning Super Bowl champion return 10 starters on offense, but defense is a different story. There will be new faces in the first team linebacker, cornerback, and safety units. That means linebacker Jahad Campbell, Philadelphia's first-round draft pick, should have plenty of opportunities to shine in this one. That'll do it for sports. Have a great rest of your night, Delmarva.
Look out, sailors. It's National Lighthouse Day. It's time to celebrate the longtime navigational aid from sea to shining sea. And we're showing you some footage we got in Fenwick Island. You can see that. Also Breakwater East in Lewis. And we also got some shots of the, there you go, the little mock lighthouse there on Kings Highway in Lewis, and also there at 5 Points. So lighthouses of all kinds, Chris.
Some beautiful shots there across the area, and we see moderate levels of our moderate mosquito meter there. Linda Harris, Ocean Pines, Maryland, you're the winner of our Paul Davis umbrella. And get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Look weather phone, and we're going to have some really nice weather over the next 3 days. Low humidity, very comfortable, but that humidity kicks in middle part of next week, and so do the return of 90-degree temperatures.
All right, Chris, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you tomorrow, or see you later tonight, rather, for Coast TV News at 11. We'll be in both places. Have a great night.
You'll be back here tomorrow.